Okay, so talk about the new punter that y'all just got this past January, Andrew Swanson, what you expect to see out of him.
I expect to see a really heated battle between him and Will Spire starting what's been ongoing since the spring and it continued through this summer, and really look for good things out of him. He's had a good solid spring for us. He hasn't won the job per se, but he has competed, pretty well for an incoming freshman, so it ought to be a good battle going into the fall.
Now, what tight ends do you expect to be front runners this year?
At tight end, we're going to probably our leading candidate, obviously, with Braden Galloway's situation, will be J.C. Chalk. And then we have two incoming freshmen, Jalen Lay. We also have Davis Allen, two guys. Jalen's here in the spring, went through spring. He's been here all summer. Davis has been here since the second session of summer school, like our incoming freshman. And then we have two kids, Luke Price and J.L. Banks. Those are our kids that we have at tight end. Good morning.
Good morning. How is Braden's attitude? Have you talked to him?
I've been in a lot of contact with Braden. Obviously disappointed is probably an understatement in that realm. But that's the hand he's dealt. And you can sit here and waller in that all you want, but that's not going to get him any better or get us any better. He's got to take what he's been dealt and deal with it. And we look forward to getting him back eligible on the team from that standpoint. But he's going to be a vital part of our team this year, and we've got to treat that kind of like it's an injury, and from our standpoint and prep standpoint. And then, he's got to stay engaged. He's got to do his part. He may be the best scout team tight end out there. He may need to, work against whatever he can do to make our football team and contribute to it this year. That's what he's going to do. And he's taken on that. He's worked extremely hard in the weight room to help himself. And that's one area probably as a freshman that he needed as much or more than anything. So in the end of it, it may end up being a blessing for him. And he just doesn't know it yet.
Do you spend a lot of time talking with him, just giving him plans to keep him engaged? Because he's a young guy. It's obvious.
It's been a lot of, I don't want to say, I let him vent.
Yeah.
And then I go back with him and try to, it's just like anything. You're dealing with a young man who's had, a bad situation, and you've got to deal with it. Yeah. And so, obviously it's not easy, but that's part of the growing process, and he's doing a good job as far as that goes through. I've been more encouraged. Sometimes he gets me more inspired than I get myself. But that's Braden, and I've got a good relationship with him, and I check on him, and hey, it's not always as bad as it seems. It's not always as good as it seems. Through this whole process, you may look up at the end of it and be the best thing that happened for you because, boom, I was able to do this. I was able to lift and develop my body, and you may look back on it in 5 years, but that's what he's got to do.
So does this become a different summer for you as a position coach simply because
we've got to get some. There's a lot of unknowns. You've got guys that aren't J.C. Chalk, but I would say this: we sat around here for 2 years and dealt with lazy-legged, then all of a sudden, holy mackerel! When a guy all of a sudden gets to the front of the sled, the view's different. He becomes the lead dog. The view gets different. And you have to get out there, and we look forward to one of those guys taking it. Right now, it's J.C. Chalk, who's had a good solid spring. He's had a good summer for us, and we got two unknown freshmen in Jalen Lay and Davis Allen, who are in here working their tails off. And physically, they're a little more advanced than most kids that we've gotten in here. I looked at Lay's size the other day, and I looked at Davis coming in there. Those are big, athletic kids, which is a bright thing. That doesn't mean that they're going to translate to be great players day one or practice one. And then there's two kids, Luke Price, who we moved over from defense this spring, who's been really, really a solid addition to us. And then J.L. Banks is a kid who's been involved in our program for a couple of years now.
When you look at your tight end group now and you think about it, better at the blocking parts of being a tight end, or are there some pass catchers?
I think each of them have qualities and are good at different skill sets. I think the two freshmen, it's unknown what they're good at. I think they both, they measure really well. They walk in the door really well. Can they put the ball down and get out of the way and actually play? We'll have to see. We're going to have to put them in that environment and see what they can do. And that's yet to kind of be determined. J.C. Chalk would probably say his blocking's probably a little bit better than his, but he catches the ball extremely well. He has good hands, so those things will come as we get going this fall.
What are some of the things you wanted to see Jalen improve on?
Jalen, I think Jalen, a lot of it is just learning what to do and how to do it, and then be able to take it. I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself to perform, and when he doesn't, if he has one drop, he's been able to have a couple, and so he's got to relax and just kind of grow with this thing and play, and it'll be interesting to watch this kid develop.
What did Davis report at size-wise?
I want to say he's 235. I haven't checked the weights this week. I know he was at last week, so he might have put on a pound or so, but he's a nice-looking young man. I've been very pleased with him.
Tight end is one of the most difficult positions to play in this scheme.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How is Jalen progressing with the middle side?
This spring, the best thing is he was able to get here and have 15 days of spring practice, which is a great addition for him. And then this summer, he's really taken it on and spent time in the film room, spent time, learning and doing a good job that way. He's been in skills and drills just like we have each summer. And so it'll be interesting to see how he shows back up in August and see how much he's been able to retain and improve on.
Thanks, I think, is a kid that came from Georgia State or Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern, yes.
What did you see from him?
He was, this spring, he's a kid who's been used primarily as a blocking tight end mostly, but he's worked really hard on his pass catching. Look forward to watching him and see how much he's developed this summer. He's worked extremely hard. He's a mature kid because he's older, and he's been a little bit one of our leaders, holding everybody accountable for being there, being on time. And you've got new kids like Davis and Jalen, JC and JL are older kids that are kind of the ring leaders for him.
Being coming from the defensive side of the ball in the football family, does he do a little bit of edge blocking?
Who is that? JL, yes, and then Luke Price has also moved over there from defense. Has done well for us.
What do you want to see from the tight end group within the first couple of days of camp?
First couple of days of camp, I want to see who's retained the information. Obviously, and then to see who can basically, the first couple of days aren't in pads. Everything's kind of building to one of those scrimmages. What I want to see is how much they retain, what type shape they're in, and then how much they can learn as we get going. As they build, really can't assess what kind of situation you got till after maybe one of the first or second scrimmages, and we're really not going to know till maybe after one of the first couple games.
Place kicking, how much difference is there right now between BT and Sawicki?
BT, Sawicki, and the Jonathan Wheats kid, will be a kid on our team this fall. I would say, from a strength standpoint, there's a lot of difference. I think the ball jumps off BT, but from an accuracy standpoint, it's all about making it. And so I look forward to BT being a little more under control and being more consistent, making more 3-foot putts, and it'll be a good competition between those three this fall. Punter will be between obviously Will and
Swanson.
Yeah, and Aiden, which that'll be a continuing battle from now on until Will graduates. Aiden came in here, he had a spring up under his belt, did really well, and they've both competed really hard this summer. They've both been in the weight room, and I think that's one area that Aiden really needed to attack. Coming in here, and so I'll be interested to see how that's benefited him. And see where he's at as we get going this season.
Play at 250 or?
No,